Antonio, both agencies, it's because of Jack Colley's coordination in Galveston and getting these things prepared. They were on the ground and ready to go at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I want to thank you for that, because that's what's causing us trying to pump water out of this area, so.
Thank you,
Commissioners, do you have any questions? Chief Jack Colley, do you have any questions? Thanks again, I know that you have several areas to see. I know we're gonna do a briefing, hopefully at $1,500. I hope we can do that so that we can get you on the ground so you can see some of these areas that are really need some help.
All right, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. I forgot to introduce you, Mr. McGraw.
That's right, sir.
Are you sleeping in the vehicle these days?
I'm just hanging out. But I will echo what
Thank
Jack Colley said.
Thank Governor Perry for
Well, he wants to thank you, and I want to echo everything Jack said, that the governor said this morning, and the commissioners. What a great job of leadership that you've exhibited here in Hidalgo County. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Mr. McGraw, the Homeland Security Officer for the state of Texas. All right, a briefing. Noble, Bill Ivy, where are we? What are we doing? How many pumps? This is emergency management meeting, December Commissioners Court, special meeting just to see where we're at. And then Eddie, you're going to give us a briefing on the environmental. We want to go first, Tony. Go.
Bring up environmental, the folks back here that, because we have a lot of activities going on as we speak, and I know that a lot of our residents are frustrated and they're in water. We've got water moving, and that's the focus of the operation right now, is to get as much water out of the area as fast as humanly possible and mechanically possible, so we can provide some relief there. The normalcy of the county is starting to show. The western end of the county had some flooding too, so did northern Hidalgo County. But normalcy started to show. We have most of the power back on. The grocery stores are open. The government is back in service. So we're doing good. So the first people that I want up is the
Ashford. The
Ashford
tree removal
and
and
consultant.
water relocation. Ashford.
Consultant. Yes.
We've known your name now very well.
And
Mr. Noble.
Mr. Noble is actually overseeing that portion of the project, working in conjunction with him. We have Pilar Rodriguez from the city of McAllen, who is coordinating the overall effort on the public works response side, and we've tied them both in together to work side by side and use whatever resources and assets we have available and can be made available from throughout the state of Texas to solve this problem as soon as possible.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for having me up here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak, and hope you provide some information that will be helpful not only to you but to citizens of Hidalgo County. My name is John Noble, Chief Operating Officer for Ashburn Environmental. Give you a briefing real quick about the operations that are going on from our end to date. We're providing resources, personnel, and equipment to help with 3 specific areas. We'll start with the most important and most critical. That's the water relocation mission right now. We currently have 16 pumps working in conjunction with the water control people, both for the county and the irrigation district. Those pumps are located in the 107 area, south on the levee of 107, north on the levee of 107, and also in the Mercedes lateral. I'm also happy to report that 100% of those contractors out there working are Hidalgo County citizens. So the citizens have risen up and helped us as far as getting equipment out and putting out equipment out there working on the levee. The second mission is the vac trucks for the areas of water that Mr. Garza described as being pockets of water that are unpumpable at this point. We currently have in Precinct 3, that says right now 3 trucks operating, 2 in Precinct 2. There is no mission for Precinct 3, it's dry. And then 10 that started this morning in Precinct 4 and 4 more that are going on right now. Of those vac trucks, 100% of those trucks are also Hidalgo County vac trucks and companies. The third mission that we're going to be involved with is the debris removal mission. That'll also assist in some of the water relocation. That's moving debris out of the right-of-way, and where applicable, if it's in drainage ditches. This mission is typically done with knuckle boom trucks.
This is not open forum, so you can ask a question.
And I have a question. Precinct 4 has designated our own landfill site. We have plenty of room as a, I guess, a gathering area for your crews.
A temporary debris storage and reduction site.
Now, the question that that the residents ask us is, can you come to my house and pick up limbs and what have you? If they cut them and put them on the right of way with that deal you're talking about, they can be picked up, correct, without having to manually?
Yes, yes, Commissioner. If the citizens and working with Beck Disaster, who's the monitoring firm for the county, they'll provide public service announcements on instructions on where to place debris and how to stack it, and it'll come through the county's public information officer. But if the citizens put debris that's storm damaged debris out on the right of way, vegetative debris, trees down and things of that nature, the trucks that we have will come by and pick that up from the right of way.
That's what I need to do. And that's a tremendous help because we don't have the area, and the people, you know, the gasoline and the whole nine, if they don't have power and they're already in trouble, then that's just one more added thing. But this way, through your company, they can go on site and pick up the limbs and debris and dispose of it, and they don't have to worry about it.
That's correct. Our crews will be working on the county property and we'll pick up from the right of way. We'll not go onto private property.
And that's understandable, so we can tell our residents, cut your limbs, put them on the right of way, we'll pick them up.
That's correct. And that is also applicable for flood damaged property.
Sure.
If someone's house was flooded and they have something that needs to be disposed of, they can put that out in a separate file
And we'll pick
and
those
that
up.
will be picked up.
And I believe he covered it, but we have a plan and it'll be a systematic pickup as we go, so.
And when will we start utilizing this plan?
It should start going into effect sometime late this afternoon.
Okay.
If everything falls in place.
So if people call and say, man, I got limbs and stuff, cut them, put them on the right of way, and we'll be moving forward.
And we're gonna have the additional problem of those residents that can't, that are, because of their age, because of their disabilities, they're not gonna have that capability.
We'll worry about those.
I'm trying to figure something out.
Right.
So,
We gotta help the people that can't help themselves.
yes, sir, that's.
That's the whole idea is from this.
Yes, sir, that is
Okay.
correct.
All right. The third operation? You said there's three. Water relocation,
The debris.
debris.
And the vacuum truck water
Vacuum truck.
relocation.
Which everything's working on. I mean, they're running.
So Esther Salinas knows, we do have Phil Ivy, can you make sure to tell me what your role is? I know that there were some trucks that were questionable because they had oil, so we're trying to be environmentally safe while we're trying to rush to get things done. Go ahead, Phil.
Yes, I'm Phil Ivey with Beck Disaster Recovery. Thank you, Your Honor, thank you, Commissioners. We presently, we were hired by you to help protect your FEMA dollars to, for this relief, like we got there to monitor all the documentation that's needed to turn into FEMA so you get reimbursed your dollars back. And what we have 26 monitors out there, 24 of those are locally hired monitors of the community, so the money stay here in the community. But we currently are watching over what you were asking about the right-of-way. We have to monitor that, take it off the right-of-way.
Sure.
We have to monitor the pumps 24 hours. We have to monitor the back trucks also to make sure.
It's a huge effort. I know that.
Right, yeah, we do this round the clock, and that's our responsibility to make sure your dollars back.
Good.
Well, we're really gonna need your help on that.
Yes, well, we help with the documentation.
Okay, thank you. Tony, anybody else part of the briefing on commissioners on emergency management and also the operation of Hurricane Dolly?
Yes, sir, we have one more gentleman coming up, come on up.
FEMA.
And I'm gonna let him introduce himself and explain what FEMA's role. He's not the one that's gonna be taking the paper claims and everything. He's gonna tell us what.
When are you gonna be ready to talk to some of our citizens?
Good morning, Judge Salinas and Commissioners, Mr. Auditor. Thank you for being here, and I'd like to echo the Chief's comments that we're here to thank you for all the work that you've done. I have a couple of documents here that I would like to read from quickly to explain what has happened so far with the Federal Disaster Declaration and where we are and where we may be going. Last Thursday, President Bush signed a Federal Disaster Declaration, and that was basically to supplement state and local governments in their recovery efforts in the areas struck by Hurricane Dolly. It was for emergency protective measures and including direct federal assistance. And that's part of the Stafford Act, and that was a public assistance declaration. There's been a lot of confusion when people heard that there was a federal disaster declaration. A lot of people began to call FEMA. We're not there yet. Step 2 has occurred. Governor Perry has requested damage assessments in the 4 heavily hit counties here in the valley. They began in Cameron Parish on Saturday and continued through yesterday.
County.
I'm sorry, county.
We're not in New Orleans.
I've come from Baton Rouge, I'm sorry, yes.
It's an honest mistake.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
We're proud Texans here.
Yes, that's right. And I was born in Texas and proud to be a Texan. And I've got my boots on. And I understand the Hidalgo County damage assessments will begin right now. They're scheduled to begin on Wednesday, but of course that's a call for you and the county commissioners. You county officials will tell the state officials and the federal officials, all part of this damage assessment team, where to go to look at the damages, and those numbers will be added up, forwarded to Governor Perry, and if they add up beyond state and local resources, that's the key, that's the trigger, beyond state and local resources, then Governor Perry will request additional federal assistance for the area. And that would come in the form of an individual assistance federal declaration. At that time, people would be told how to contact FEMA, how to apply for assistance, and the process. I hate to say it's complicated. It's multifaceted. It has a lot of aspects to it. It's part of the Robert Stafford Act. It's a law. It's a congressional law. And so that's the law under which we operate. So there are a lot of steps getting to individual disaster assistance. But again, what has happened so far is exactly what should have happened. The plan has worked. FEMA was here pre-landfall with state officials, working shoulder to shoulder with you all. And right after the storm, you were doing assessments and figuring out what needed to be done in the way of life-saving and property-saving measures. And the declaration the President signed on Thursday will reimburse the state, and then reimburse you for these life-saving and property-saving measures. So that's where we are. And I would have to say that a damage assessment does not guarantee an individual assistance declaration. But it is one of the steps to get to an individual assistance federal disaster declaration.
I guess my question to you is, what can we do as a commissioners and county judge to try to get those assessments faster so we can get some help for individuals? Do we have to set up locations for you? We have windshield assessments we started on Thursday. We're going to hand that to you. I think we already did. We're giving you a video of some of the damages we've had. What can we do to help some of our residents? I guess that's my question to you.
And I answered this question yesterday for one of the media. Everyone understands the urgency. Federal officials, state officials, county officials. So getting those damage assessments done as quickly as possible, getting those numbers added up, and getting them to the Governor's Department of Emergency Management in Austin, and for his review, and then he will move them on to the FEMA region in Denton, and then on to FEMA headquarters in Washington, D.C., and if approved, they will be submitted to the White House for a signature on an individual assistance declaration.
So the faster we assess, the faster we can have some help.
The faster you assess, the faster those numbers can get to the Governor, and the process can move forward.
Can we start assessing today? Tell me what.
It's your call. You give us the green light and we'll do it.
Yes, sir.
That's what we talked about yesterday.
Yes, sir. And actually, yesterday, the appraisal district started working out, because they're the ones that have
Actually,
all
on
the
Friday, the tax assessor collector, Armando Barrera, was already
did.
on the field trying to do some assessment.
Yes, he did some of the major
Do we
high-level
have that
assessments.
information for them?
He will get it before he leaves today.
Do we have to set up an office for them in the areas of La Villa, San Carlos, La Blanca, Sunrise Hill Park, so that they can talk to the residents directly?
Whatever assistance they need in setting up local offices, we will arrange for all of that.
But I don't need that next week, I need it
Yes, sir,
today.
that's gonna happen like today.
All right.
Yes, sir, and the appraisal district has gotten started on giving us the information that we need. We have one assessment, which is just a high-level assessment. We're going to get in a little bit closer, just like we did with the Colonia Mesa subdivision wind event. And when we hand them a packet, it's going to be a complete packet. It will be within the next 48 hours, God willing. and we'll have the information together.
And David has a map he's been carrying right there,
Yes, sir.
which I've circled the areas, and that's the assessed area right there. I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you other than we need to help our residents as soon as possible.
And I understand that, sir. And having the local officials take the state and federal officials to the heavily damaged areas, which I'm sure these gentlemen will be prepared to do, that will move the process along and move it as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you for
here.
the opportunity.
And thank you for Glenn, by the way. FEMA, you need to know that FEMA has had a desk at their emergency office center since
Before the storm,
Tuesday.
Yes.
Glenn and I have talked about where he's from, his family, and everything.
These division coordinators, it's part of the new FEMA. We'll be working shoulder to shoulder with the county officials at state, pre-landfall, pre-incident.
So tell Sandy goes from that area out of here. I met with her yesterday. Tell her we have a lot of work to do.
I will pass that on, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other briefings we need to do?
Yes, sir.
Charlotte, I saw Charlotte, Renee, what's on this?
Are they here?
Those statistics. Do we need to update anything else other than on the water?
On that
Any
portion?
questions? I should ask.
I reported this morning, we have 38 pumps working in unison, in conjunction with each other. All that planning has fallen into place. We're moving water.
Just make sure to coordinate with Dobby too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're basically doing the assessment already on the district facility, Judge. I know that we have some areas that are, base structures are blown out and stuff.
Gotcha. I know a lot, we have, you resources are stretched. I want to meet David. If you need something, we need to tell Tony and David so that they can get the state to get more resources. I mean, they have.
Again, the
They have
key,
not denied us one request.
the key is going to be on the assessment team. You know, we've got over probably 600 miles of facilities that we need to go and inspect and see what structure's blown out and what repaired. We know of 3 or 4 major components that are blown out, that need to be repaired. And I just need to coordinate with your office, if you can give us some teams that are going to be doing assessment out there, to send them with our strike teams out there to go to the location.
Give Mr. Garza also the list of the pumps and where they're at. Right now, we're pumping 100,000 gallons per hour of water. That's what we're pumping right now, or more.
But our major criteria is to make sure that we go out there and assess the damage, because the facilities that we have will not hold up another event. Period.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Judge, and on some of the cities that have loaned us some of their equipment and their men, it's only a temporary loan. So if you all happen to see that there's a pump being pulled out and headed back north, that means that Tyler, Texas said, okay, we loaned it to you temporarily for 3 days to help you, but we need them back because we got our own problems up there, or San Antonio, or Victoria, or some of the other cities. We've had a response and it's been unreal. I've gotten calls in the middle of the night last night that, you know, I have the hoses that you all needed. They're on the way. They'll be here in 3 or 4 hours.
Pilar from the public works director was up till 4 in the morning last night. City of McAllen trying to get hoses to La Villa to get water. McAllen, the city of McAllen has really helped us coordinate.
There are partners in emergency management and in response, just like we responded to the wildfires. They're right there with us side by side. They're continuing to work. I want Eddie from the health department to tell you some of the stuff that's going on.
Sir, you wanted me to report on a couple of concerns dealing with the various issues. One, I want to talk about food safety. Right now, sir, we got all our health inspectors, everyone's out. We've got some sanitarians coming from the states. I want to make sure none of the restaurants, none of these other areas are selling any food that's spoiled. I know a lot of people have invested a lot of money in their stock for food and their restaurants and things, and there's always the scrupulous type of person who's going to try to get away with it. So we're on top of that. Immediately, I got a full wide juggernaut on that out there right now. We also asked for some support from the state. We got some help from USDA. They're coming in to help us with some of that as well. So that's happening, and we're making sure. I want to let all the people know and listening, if the food doesn't look right, doesn't smell right, don't eat it. Dispose of it. We don't want any people getting sick and getting sick with the dehydration, various things, salmonella, food poisoning. We have Red Cross food, we have Salvation food, we have the Baptist Ministries food. We got groups out there getting pensions and resources out there as quickly as possible. Get to a shelter. Get to a shelter like you said earlier, Judge. The other thing, mosquitoes. Our mosquito program is full effect right now. It's operational. The main thing on the mosquitoes, if the wind's above 10 miles an hour, I cannot spray because the stuff won't stick. But what we're doing, we're throwing these briquettes. We're launching them into the standing water. They look like little donuts. He asked the citizens, don't play with them. Let the kids not play with them. They're poison, okay? That's the liability and concern that we have. That's why we don't use them very often. But in this event, it's emergency. We're putting them out there, and we launch hundreds of them into standing water areas, and they dissolve and they kill this mosquito larva.
What's the timetable for them to dissolve?
It takes them, it depends on the brand, anything from about 30 minutes to as much as an hour and a half.
I want to ask you, do we have any, is there going to be any spray available, mosquito repellent for the
We have those at the
residents?
pod sites right now.
They're at the pod
They are being
sites?
distributed at the pod sites, the state sent us.
David, did you hear that?
Yes, they're there.
Because if it's going to be windy, we're not going to be able to spray.
Lo que estoy diciendo, comisionada, es lo que más importante para todos en la comunidad que entiendan que nosotros estamos trabajando con el problema con los zancudos. Nosotros estamos lanzando unos paquetitos de veneno. Estos parecen como donuts. Y es bien importante que los niños no las levanten y jueguen con ellos. Se tardan de 30 minutos a hora y media para que se deshagan el agua y el veneno se pone arriba del agua y mata el blanquillito de los zancudos. Eso es muy importante, que no jueguen con ellos. Nosotros también estamos fumigando en las diferentes áreas, pero eso se hace en la noche o tempranito en la mañana, cuando el viento está más calmado. Eso es muy importante que la gente entienda eso.
Okay,
También que sepan que pueden levantar spray para los zancudos ahí en Sunrise Hill y donde tienen los lugares donde están dando la comida y el agua.
Nosotros vamos a pedir que Salvation Army y que los otros programas empiecen a dar spray para estar seguros que los ciudadanos y los residentes tengan la oportunidad para eso. Pero al mismo tiempo, eso es importante que tengan para estar seguros que los niños no estén.
Okay, have you already deposited these donuts in precinct 4?
No, we're starting that today, sir, and the reason was we did not have access to get into there. Now we do have better access, and we're launching them out there. I ordered Marty in her tremendous work, I think I stopped the Marty for a while ago, in her tremendous work, we ordered 200 more cases. We could not get our supplies in because no one would ship them down here during the event. We're now getting them shipped overnight. 24, 48 hours, I'm going to have more that we're going to be launching out there. I asked for support from the state of Texas. I asked for support from FEMA, and we're going to mobilize a whole mosquito component to it. It's going to be over the next, this mosquito control thing is going to be over the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's not going to be
Talking about aerial
last time they used aerial spraying was in Rita. It was a disaster. It was a disaster because the aerial spraying side effects are tremendous. You have it impacting dogs and cats. You have it impacting chickens and birds. It actually did a lot more harm than it helped.
So
And not only that, but it terrified everybody when you have a C-131 flying at
We're
500 feet.
going the donut route.
We're going the donut route, sir.
Okay, I need for you, I will get, I need to talk to Gloria so that my foreman can tell you all where we need them.
If we could coordinate that through Mr. Ramos and Environmental, that's the way to go. Charlos coordinate all the mosquito stuff.
And is that equipment ready to go?
All the equipment we have is operational right now.
Okay, now tell me,
And I bought
are
these-
your employees the only people that can handle these donuts?
By state law, yes, but come to my office and we'll figure it out.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. They'll be seeing you right after lunch so we can start.
Well, Charlo Ramos is the contact for that. The other thing, sir, is very important. 211 is operational. They're talking about food stamps. They're talking about indigent care. They're talking about housing components. All those things. 211 is handling that in English and Spanish. El 211, si le llaman al 211, hay información tocante estampillas de comida, tocante programas de servicios humanos. Todo eso se está haciendo en inglés y en español.
The Texas Workforce Commission is currently just arriving at the EOC right now with local representatives to tie in with us to discuss some of the things that they do too. They should have arrived in the last 5 minutes or so. And there's going to be a lot of things going on, and if the public will just watch the TV, watch the news, we'll be passing the information out as it goes along in a timely manner.
One other thing that's important, we're getting a lot of people calling us for services. Lo están llamando para servicios de medicina. They're calling us for medical services. Last week, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, la semana pasada, los fines de semana, no podían entrar por los vientos y la llovizna. Lo que es importante es que ahora ya están los caminos abiertos. Pueden entrar bastante en las vecindades. Si son parte del home health care, que le llaman las enfermeras del home health care, ese es el derecho de ustedes como como pacientes de ellos, por ley, ellos tienen que responder y ayudarles. If last week we couldn't get in because of the wind and the rain, home health care, if you're a home health care client or provider client, your agency can get in there now. There should be no excuse for them not to go. And by state law, they are required to provide you medical service. They bill you right away, they bill the state right away, they should be able to do the service just as quickly as they bill the service. So it's very important that they are able to get their staff out there to deal with that. Also, we had a boil water situation going on only for the Alamo North Water Service District people. Okay, and then that North Alamo Water District includes parts of Donna, includes parts of Westaco, Elsa, La Villa, El Couch, y La Blanca. That's not saying that the cities of those communities have a problem, except for La Villa. La Villa does have a problem. That's part of the North Alamo Water District. But the other, anyone who's a customer in the North Alamo Water District, you're on a boiled water until further notice. North Alamo Water District. I want to make that very clear.
All right, thank you. Information, also call our website, 318-2426, 318-2426. Tony, anything else, to get on this agenda so you can get back to pumping out water?
Yes, sir. And by the way, my voice came back, took the allergy medicine this morning, everything's clearing up, so we're doing good. Shelter information, AP, we still have 17,000.
14,695 people without light, and he's working on getting Gilbert Hughes to get it back on.
And they're working real good,
To
and.
reimburse Ms. Salinas as soon as possible, $250 too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And the other company, Magic Valley, is also working. I do not have their numbers are on the way. Pod numbers, we've served a whole mess of people in the pods we've had, and I don't have them
I
added
have the
up.
information right here, I don't want to read it because it's a lot.
Okay. I've got it right here for the same
So if
one.
you need it, we'll put it on the website. Steve, if you could help us put it out, Jackie, I know you're here.
The pod sites are gonna be, we're starting to transition away from the pod sites because we do have the infrastructure back open.
Right.
And I understand
The
that.
last day for the pod sites is Tuesday, 8 o'clock, okay? Tuesday, 8 o'clock will be the last day for the pod sites. Water and ice will be given from today till 8, then tomorrow till 8. Sunrise Hill and Elsa.
That's all I got, sir, because I know you'll have to get,
Till 8 p.m. today, well, they've been running 24/7. So,
Till 8 p.m.
Okay.
You'll have business to conduct, so we'll be back.
thank you.
to our
Is there any other action we need to take on regarding emergency management? Now let's go to the regular agenda. We have a motion to adjourn, second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Let's go back to the regular agenda. I still have some people in the public forum. Rogelio,